Hey, this is Sarah Noel Block, CEO and Head of Marketing Strategy for Tiny Marketing. And this is our weekly show where we give you actionable advice that you can implement today. Today, I'm diving into how to create a quarterly content calendar in less than an hour with my quick and dirty tricks of the trade. Now, you can come up with an amazing and effective content calendar going a bit further than what I'm going to show you today. And I will create an episode that will dive into this full ideation strategy. But this episode is for those solopreneurs, for the one-person marketing departments, for the small businesses that don't have any marketing department. This is for them, the people that don't have the time or resources to spend a deep dive into competitor analysis and Google Analytics dashboards to come up with a couple of blog posts and podcast ideas. This is for those people. So in the comments right now, let me know, what do you struggle with when you are trying to come up with content ideas? Figuring out what your audience cares about, deciding if it aligns with your services or product. Let me know, because we are just about to get into it. All right, get pumped. Some Ted Lasso for you. All right, let's dig into it. How do you create 4 months worth of content ideas in less than an hour? Here's what we're chatting about today. One, learn how to build a content calendar for an entire quarter in less than an hour. Conduct keyword research quickly and free. We're not talking about using, I'll suggest Moz and SEMrush, but we'll look at some free strategies too. And then outline articles to provide clear direction for your writers. That is a must that's a must for saving money when you're working with writers. You don't want to have them having to do revision after revision after revision. All right, let's get going. 1, start with a template. Make it easy on yourself and start with a content calendar template that has everything that you need. So these are the things that I always want to include. What is the topic that you want your writer to talk about? What sections should be included? By sections, I mean anything that you're going to use an H1 header on. So you'll want your main topic to be like the title, and then you'll have probably around 3 different sections with H1 titles that will outline what the article is about. Who are you writing to? Who is the audience? Are you working to increase your leads for facility managers? Are you looking to increase your leads for small business CEOs? Make sure the writer fully understands who they're writing for, because that makes the biggest difference in lead generation. What is the goal of the piece? Are you wanting to get more people to sign up for Are you wanting to get more people to sign up for your webinar? Are you getting more views on your, I need to move my comments. They're distracting me. There. Are you trying to get more views on your live stream, more listens on your podcast? Okay. You want your writer to know that. So you're leading them to a clear conclusion. You're leading the reader to a clear conclusion. Teach them something and tell them what the next steps are. And then what do you want the audience to do after consuming your content? So do you have a newsletter that you want them to sign up for? Make sure that that is clear. With the structure of every blog post, well, really any content piece altogether, you want to teach them something about their pain point, the solution that you're providing. They have a pain and you're solving that pain. Teach them about it. Teach them how to solve it. And then have the next step be what will help them solve their problem even further. Will having a workshop with you solve that problem? Make sure that your CTA at the end, your call to action, is very clear and that your entire article is leading to that point. So I like to use this template in a spreadsheet. Makes it super easy, Google Sheets. And then you can share it with anybody. You can update it as you need, and it makes it a lot easier. Next, start with your brain dump. Okay, so it's a very specific brain dump. You don't want to just have anything on there. You need to ask yourself certain questions and talk to your team about certain questions. I really like going to the sales department when I'm coming up with content ideas because they are on the front lines and they really know what matters to the customer. So these are the things that I go to first when I'm having a hard time coming up with content ideas. What frequently asked questions do we get a lot? Do you do demos or webinars and you get a similar question often? That's something you probably want to write about. When your salespeople are on sales calls, are they getting the same questions that or pushback when they're on sales calls? A friction point, something that makes people not want to buy. That is something that you want to be able to squash down in the content section before your potential customer gets to the point of being part of a sales call. You'll want them to understand that the thing that might cause them not to want to buy from you is not actually an issue. So a pushback might be they don't feel comfortable giving you access to their technology. For example, you can write an article about how you can still do this project without access to their personal passwords and by using LastPass, for example. And this will kind of calm their fears that they might have. When you Google your solution, so think about your business and the solution you provide, Google that. What related searches pop up? And I'm going to show you what this looks for and how to find it in a second. And then what are your customers asking for in social groups? An easy thing to do is to go on Facebook, LinkedIn, Quora, and search for the solution you provide. What are questions people are asking around that type of product, that type of service? And that's a great place to start on creating content calendars. What are people wondering about? What do they want to learn? So back to the Google thing. Let me show you. So when you Google something, this will also come up. Let's say I'm Googling marketing for a small business, like my own business. These will come up. People also ask, how do I market my small business? Which marketing is best for small businesses? These questions make for great content. Google your solution, your business right now, and see what other people are asking for. This is an awesome way to start creating your content calendar. And then if you scroll all the way to the bottom of that Google search, you'll find this. This is other things that people are searching for, related searches right here. So marketing strategy for small businesses, marketing for small businesses near me. This is a great place to start for your content creation. Let's do one live. So I'm going to share a different screen right now, and I'm going to show you live what this looks like. So give me 1 second while I do that. And Google, there we go. Okay, I am going to Google, let's see, facility management for gyms. I'm just making this one up on the spot, so hopefully something good comes up. All right, people also ask, what type of facility is a gym? How do you manage a fitness center? What is a gym management system? What comes under facilities management? All right, so these are great places to start. And this might, like, how do you manage a fitness center? Think about it this way. Your customer is likely the owner of the gym. This might be something that they're asking about. Same with this. And really what you want to do with top of funnel content is teach people about their own business. Because really, every single person that you're going to want to sell to, they have two fears that are always in common. One, that they aren't good enough at their job. Every single person has that fear. They aren't good enough at their job. So if you create content to teach them how to be better at their job, that's a win, and that will bring in some top of funnel new leads. And the other thing they're worried about is time management. They don't have enough time to do what they need to do. So another great go-to for content is to talk about how, for their particular job, how they can save time, different strategies for that. It's always a win. All right, I'm going back to my presentation. Okay. All right, the third thing that you need to do, right there, the third thing you need to do for content ideation for 4 months is to create an outline. You are likely hiring a freelance writer to write the content that you're creating, or to write the outline of the podcast that you're creating, or to create the presentation for the webinar that you're going to present. And they need clear direction because you don't want it to take A, forever, or B, just not hit what you actually want. The revisions will be never ending if you don't outline correctly. It doesn't need to be super long, your outline. It can be really simple and still effective. Just include these elements: the title of the article or the overall subject, headers for each section, the goals of each section, what you want your reader to take away from the article, so what you want them to do next, and what keywords you want to target. So let's get more into keywords because everybody cares about SEO and getting found on Google. The number one way consumers find new businesses to work with is going to Google and searching for them. So you want to make sure that you are ranking. So what about the keywords? It can be simple. It can be a lot more simple than you think it'll be. So one, let's go back to the Google strategy that we used earlier. You went to Google and you saw the questions that other people are asking and similar searches. Those are great places to start for keywords. They are using the exact phrasing that people are using in their searches. So use them in your article. And remember, Google doesn't like a robot. They don't like using the same exact keywords over and over and over. No, what you actually want to do is use different variations of it. Make sure it's very human and digestible. Content should always be consumable and easy to understand. Even the smartest person in the world doesn't want to read a ridiculous article that's complicated and undigestible. Next, use tools like Word Tracker. It's the most affordable. It's like less than $30 a month. Google Keyword Research Tool, which is free. It's a little bit harder to find now because you have to actually log into your Google Ads account to find it, but it's still available and anyone can create a Google Ads account. And then on the more expensive end of things is Moz and SEMrush. They provide very thorough information. So it's a great resource, but you're looking to spend around $80 a month on that. And then, sound human. Sprinkle them in throughout and use different variations of keywords. Google also really likes questions. So phrasing headers or titles in the form of questions or starting it with how to always will let you rank a little bit better. And that's it. It's a super easy way to create a quarterly content calendar in less than an hour. It truly will not take you more than an hour. I'm not exaggerating. And one day I will come back and I will talk to you about a more in-depth version of this. For maybe you have a day to plan out your content calendar and we can look into the more in-depth version of this. But for now, I'm giving you the quick and dirty, easy way to do it in less than an hour. You'll create great content that people want to read and a clear funnel. You start with top of funnel and move down to that call to action that always should be gated. So you gain email addresses and you can start building relationships that way. So thank you. Thank you for joining me this week. It's been an absolute pleasure. Next week is super exciting because Clubhouse is brand spanking new and no one really understands it. But my friend, Ruthie Bowles, CEO of Defy the Status Quo, is on top of it. She is getting lead after lead after lead from Clubhouse, and she knows that strategy like the back of her hand. She will be here next week to teach us all about Clubhouse. Don't forget, we're live every Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time on YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And before you go, if you liked this show, do a couple of things. One, subscribe or follow wherever you are and like the video so more eyes can see this video. 2, sign up for the newsletter. The newsletter will show you, it comes weekly on Tuesdays and it's jam-packed with actionable advice that you can implement today. You know, that's my jam. And let me see here. And if you want to work with me, oh wait, hold on. Let me give you this real fast. That's how you sign up for the newsletter, sarahnoahblock.com/newsletter. And if you want to work with me, you can go to sarahnoahblock.com/contact to schedule a discovery call. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been lovely. I will talk to you next week with Ruthie Bowles all about Clubhouse.